So we say a human being in front of us, when it comes to a fight, or it can be that there exists a fighting situation, it can only take 4 positions: left in front, right in front, parallel close, and parallel wide.
You are a high performer and you train every day. How do you regenerate and how do you stay injury free and healthy?
I try to be on top level when I have seminar tours, when I have periods where I have a lot of dates for education for our company, for our organization. And in the off times during summer, I try to regenerate as good as possible. And then I try to reduce everything which powers me out. I read, I cook, I do photography. Of course, I do some sports, but only at a certain level and not at high level. That helps me. And thinking some different things than only WingTsun.
And during the week, what is the maximum one should or could train and move?
I have pretty long days during the week. For example, when I start in the morning, some intensive class. First of all, the running unit, my everyday sure fix. Then intensive class. Then sometimes we have meeting, and in the afternoon intensive class. And then the evening classes. They last 1.5 hours. And for example, some private lessons after this. So it can happen, or it happens 2 or 3 times a week that I have 12 hours a day, working day. That's normal for me.
And which system helps you to stay injury free? Is it the nutrition or sleep or a combination?
I think it's a combination of this. I go to bed much earlier than years ago. And I think that to train your muscles relaxed and elastic is a big part of this, and also train your nerve system. For example, I had 2006. I had a tough racing bike accident. I crashed into a car with 48 kilometers per hour, and I had, apart from a broken collarbone, nothing. And most of the policemen said, "Wow, there are some people who don't survive this." And I say, okay, I'm sure that the WingTsun trained body helped me a lot.
So
my theory,
yeah.
An elastic thing, and also the brain, because in that situation I remember my thoughts. I went, okay, do I go behind the car? I go into the opposite traffic. Do I go in front of the car? It drives over me. Under the car is not possible, so I decided to jump over the car. But when you know a race bike as good as me, you're linked with the pedals, so you have not the optimum jump out, and that was the reason why I crashed with the left shoulder into the roof of the car. And but minimum damage.
So the awareness makes
and of course the awareness. And I remember those thoughts were like in slow motion. I remember it clearly and totally structured, and that I took the decision by myself.
Now I remember in WingTsun class we also trained how to fall down.
Of course, it's also a topic. We say, okay, a real self-defense situation in everyday life should not go to the floor because you have a lot of dangers on the floor. But yes, it can be, and it should be a material where you're comfortable, where you feel comfortable if it happens.
This is a beautiful thought also for many life situations.
Yeah.
How do you fall down? Because you can fall down in a way that you break everything, and
of
you
course.
can fall down in a way that is like a cat.
Yeah. Biomechanical, you start to use all contracting muscles, which leads to the fact that you become smaller and smaller and smaller. So your upper body crunches together, your legs go down, and then you can touch with your butt the ground and roll down, if it's possible. If that's the optimum. But you try it, of course, as soft as possible.
I remember in WingTsun class that we were trained to think the body as a whole system or the parts, the single parts. Now move only this part, move only this part, now move the whole thing. What is the thinking behind it?
It depends on the level of learning and dealing with the topic. At the beginning you do with isolated parts. So at the very beginning you say, okay, how many joints does your arm have? Yeah, you have the wrist, you have the elbow, you have the shoulder, and you do exercises for this. Then you put your upper body into it. Yeah, you have the whole backbone. Yeah, and you can move a lot. Yeah, and the legs, of course. And the advanced Wing Chun practitioner, body unity, yeah, should involve all together. Yeah? You need it by giving force to your enemy, and you also need it by taking force and reduce the energy of the enemy.
There is also a right way to do the fist and the wrong way.
Of course, yeah. Generally, or basically at the beginning, we use a vertical fist. Yeah? We hit with the lower 3 bones of the hand, not of the fingers, the buckles here, and it sticks to the theory of the vertical fist and to making a triangle or a wedge inside. But later on, it does not stick to a technique; it sticks to the principles. So if it's necessary to come around, also the contact area can change, and then it does not look like in the beginning. Wing Chun starts sticking to the form and ends formless.
Which advice would you give to people who are they are in a discotheque, they're having a good time, and they see that something starts happening and that the fight is coming up? If you can't run away, because this would be the first thing.
This is number one. This is number one. Yeah, the undone fight is the fight which you win. Yeah, because you always take a risk. Yeah, especially in our society here in Europe. If you punch your enemy, you have a heuristic problem. If you get punched, you have a medical problem. So there's nothing to win except 2 minutes ego, upgrade your ego. Yeah, but if you deal with the topic for a longer time, you say, don't take any risk if it's not 100% necessary or if it's not unavoidable.
Put your ego in a box.
Yeah, and that's the reason why we always come to the awareness. Yeah, recognize your environment as soon as possible. If you see, okay, this does not feel good, hear on yourself and move away. Yeah, don't be paranoid. Yeah, don't change the sides of the streets every day. You say, I can't guess if there is some danger, but be aware. Yeah. Observe your 360 degree. That's what we call with awareness. Yeah? Attention is just focused, and we need awareness. So I have to take care on everything which is in my area.
How can I train my awareness?
We do it with simple exercises. We call the German word is Mustererkennung.
Pattern recognition.
Yes. Yeah. So we say a human being in front of us when it comes to a fight, or it can be that there exists a fighting situation, it can only take 4 positions: left in front, right in front, parallel close, and parallel wide. And that's the first exercises for the beginning students, just to choose one of the 4 situations and use one strategy against this. Yeah? So all other things are combinations of this, that the one arm is higher, one arm is lower, or they are crossed. Yeah? And so you learn awareness directly to the person which is in front of us, and it starts with this. You start with yourself and the form. You start to be aware what you are doing, what your dimensions, what can you protect, where are your weak points, where are your strong parts, and then the next step, you make the circle larger with one partner. In later programs you train more than one opponent, or what do you have possibilities if he has some weapon, so the circle becomes larger and larger. And then you learn, of course, preventive. Observe your environment also in the moment your senses can catch it.
If you had to choose and you had only one skill that is on the highest level, which one would it be?
Awareness. Of course, awareness and quick legs for running away. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay, let's do something.
Yes. Next topic, dealing with the force. Yeah, remember, Wing Chun was founded by 2 girls, so how to deal with force is one important topic in a fighting situation. So first of all, I put my arms between me and my enemy, being aware, being prepared. And if the attack comes round, I can't work like this. If I block here, if I use my force against his force, and for the case that he has more, you press, this happens. I can't keep up my structure. So I do the same, but I let him pass. I let him pass. If you do it a little bit quicker, I let him pass. You can also do that. Bam, that's it. Easy to handle once again. That's it. Yeah. Let me go for my target, but the target is no longer there. That's the strategy, dealing with force.